Hey everybody, this is Grace, and this morning I want to talk about crazy neighbors. I haven't talked about them in a long while, and that's because the crazy neighbor woman and her family did move during the holidays, but you know how it goes, there's always going to be that one. That's been my experience, and I'm not just talking about neighbors. Will always be one, like at a job, in a classroom, in a family, you know, in a group of friends, groups, organization, whatever. There will be the crazy one. Yeah, that's been my experience, and this seems like it's growing, but you know, I'm not the only person who notices this, because you know, like my generation was thought of as the me generation, and the millennials, the me generation. Yeah, you know, it's not exactly normal. Okay, now I don't know how this, I got a new mount for my cell phone. I don't know how it's going to work. I hope it doesn't fall off. I've had one do that before. But anyway, I got one for this car the other day. Let's see how it works. Anyway, I was talking about the crazy neighbors. So, there's something Adam notices about the neighborhood. I asked him last night, I said, do they still call it a subdivision? You know, these kinds of things, subdivisions. He said he didn't know either. Because you know how things always change. But just say in this area, okay, and that, they call them estates. So in these estates, you know, owned by, or one certain name, I don't know how it works, but there are houses. This is what he noticed, that there are houses that just don't make it, as he says. People will buy them. People usually don't rent out there, they buy. And people will buy them, and the next thing you know, it's up for sale again. And he says they just don't make it. There's something wrong with the house, something bad about it. Now he notices that kind of thing. I noticed that same thing about one of them. But I've seen houses in the neighborhood, they do that. People buy them and then they're gone. You know, and somebody for sale again. There's more than that. Okay, I think this kind of jumps with the car, but hey. Anyway, so with my crazy neighbor, the one that I did videos about, the main one, there was another one. There's still another one. But that one house, they moved out during the holidays, the whole family, sold the house, finally, and sure enough, that day, somebody moved in, and we heard about them from another neighbor, that it's two adults, you know, a married couple with two adult children, both daughters, and that same day, one of them, the man, the father, I guess you'd say, he moved in, or was there with maybe even his wife. But so they moved in right away, in other words. You know, they bought the house, why not? But the rest of them came later, the daughters. And oh my goodness, the thing about them, what happened with that one was, and it's still going on, of course, they haven't moved, but they have a whole lot of automobiles, and they're always having new automobiles. They had the same, like, their basic 4 automobiles, one for each adult, you know, kind of thing. But they're always having other new automobiles with new license tag. And I think that's a little bit weird. Okay. Now, yeah, you know, I noticed something like that. I told Adam about it. He says, well, if you're looking for trouble, you're going to find it. Kind of thing. Well, the thing about it is, my master's degree is in sociology. You don't think I'm going to pay attention to these things? Right. Of course I am. But here's another thing that what came to my mind, and I laughed about it myself, is what came to my mind was that, remember the show Bewitched? And wasn't that woman, that neighbor across the street, wasn't her name Mrs. Kravitz or something like that? Well, she, she kept noticing odd things that was happening, you know, at Samantha and Darren's house. Well, what she was noticing was true. She wasn't noticing things that weren't happening. She was noticing things that were happening. But her, I guess, reputation was for being the crazy woman herself that was noticing things that nobody else was noticing, and it couldn't happen, kind of thing. You know, because it was magic. But she was right. Did we learn that? She was right. Okay, this light takes a long while. But anyway, so she was seeing what she was seeing, and it just was that by the time anybody else could see it, they didn't see it. So, but I see things in the neighborhood because, you know, after those crazy, you know, that crazy neighbor moved, I started walking my dogs, and I think I'd started before they moved again, and I'd go outside and the woman would scream out stuff. She was crazy. She was a crazy woman. And one thing I noticed was once she moved out, the whole neighborhood seemed to come alive again. People started coming out of their houses, you know, in that area. Just people were more active. I think she did it to me. I'm not going to be just one person she's done it to. She did it to Adam too, you know, and that's their personality. Okay, I know it shows part of the mount on this, but anyway, I've got to adjust it. I tried. I'm gonna have to do it again. But anyway, now, like I said, Adam notices when the house is his. He says, "Don't make it," but you know, more people move in, kind of thing. And we were walking one day, and just walking, you know, the dogs and everything. And he said that about one of the houses. I said, "Really?" I said, "I wonder what it would be about that house." And I was looking at the house, and it's kind of strange because like the what's it called, the mailboxes are, what do you call it, encased in brick, you know, so nobody can tear them down, kind of thing, but they're in brick. And one of them, that one, the brick on the side of it, like around the middle of it, is just, the end of the bricks are torn off or something, like all the way around. Now, how in the world that would happen, I don't know. But what I did notice was the next door neighbor, just their house was really decorated, and you know, it's a nice neighborhood, kind of thing. It doesn't matter. I've lived in all kinds of neighborhoods in my lifetime, from really bad ones to really good ones, and in all points in between, kind of thing. And it happens in all of them. There's going to be a crazy neighborhood. Like, I think I've already said that. I don't know. I make clips and then I deleted two of them already because of a mistake. Okay, what I noticed about that, the house next, one of the houses, only one side of it, of course, just one side. Anyway, what I noticed about the house was that was decorated, was that it just seemed kind of, I don't know what I would call it. I wouldn't call it like extreme, but it would be maybe that the people that lived in the house were a little bit on the, I wouldn't say wild either. They weren't, I'd say, your average person. I wouldn't say that they're bad people either, but they just would go for things that some people wouldn't go for, kind of. You know, if you're like conservative, which that suburb is considered number 5 when it comes to conservative attitudes in the United States. Number 5. And, you know, I am anything but conservative, so yeah, how in the world did I wind up there, right? But yeah. Okay, I think I'll wrap this up. It wasn't going to be about anything the crazy neighbor actually did, you know, the new one. But I just want to give a little update kind of thing, and, you know, where the new thing stands at this moment. And let's see if anything bizarre really happens. I have a feeling because they are parking right behind. Not so bad as the crazy neighbors' employees used to do, and sometimes they used to do, to where it was difficult for us to get out. But you never know. Anyway, we'll see how it goes, and that's enough for this one for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.